I got tired of that. So, it's so half the other stuff too to come with this game. People getting that modded controller, that thing they press L1, and I saw that junk is stupid. But at the same time, 2K implements a lot of stuff, but there's people actively trying to exploit the game. And the thing about it, there's a whole lot of stuff too that I feel like 2K don't be thinking about, like macros. Like the macros in the game, it's like, in a sense, I know when programming and stuff like that, you got infinity, the certain values of certain stuff. They want people to balance stuff out. I don't even know why this thing said cannot. The internet connection quality is currently not sufficient. This thing is y'all don't have a black screen, or else I have to restart. Your boy does not know what in the H is going on. And then another game I'm still thinking about too, that I think that was like, lack of better word, it's just like, how can I put it? It kind of phased and then peaked, and the game was just so bad because it's focused on competitive. It's Mortal Kombat. Like, I pretty much have stated that for a fact for a while now, that Mortal Kombat is not as a fluid game as I think it should be, because the amount of stuff, like, turning the frame data and certain stuff like that, you're put at a disadvantage. And in Mortal Kombat and fighting games, you really have to be tactical. But even with the stuff, broken hitboxes, and then the hit confirming, and then the input lag and delay, that really gets a lot of stuff messed up. And then I'm still thinking about, like, you talking about competitive, the L1 stuff that people are doing on 2K now with it. I think for the sponsors and certain stuff like that, you're not allowed in the 2K League to use like a modded controller. You have to use an official. Like, let's just partner to something like that, and it still wouldn't even be a modded controller. Yeah, you wouldn't have anything that's OP or considered anything like that. But with the thing, the way people have the stuff set up, you could config certain stuff if you have a modded controller. But I feel like all the stuff, you buy an attachment for your controller. I feel like this stuff, the competitive aspect of certain stuff like that, I can't really get with it. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because it's just strictly, I feel like, it's strictly not even based on anything like, okay, a control freak. A control freak, I'm not being, funny or shady or shisty or anything like that, but I don't feel like that has anything to do with skill. Like, nobody can tell me that buying a $150, 300, or even some Astros or something like that, the Astro controller, or even an Astro headset, that's not really going to give me a competitive advantage. I've gotten 70 kill games and certain stuff like that, or 80 kill games, like on Black Ops 4. I was pretty raw with it. I got 80 kills and stuff like that. That's my highest game ever in a Call of Duty game, 80 kills. And if I had done everything correctly, I would have got 100. But at the same time, it's too much for that. But at the end of the day, we still wind up losing. Because my team, like, I'm a type of person when I play Call of Duty or something like that, or play a competitive game, I try to do what's best for a collaborative effort. Like, I'll put in the effort and certain stuff like that. I may go and cap a few flags and certain stuff like that, but otherwise, now if I have to get my streaks before I feel comfortable going offensive. But most of the time I play defensive. Like, I might do a lot of objective stuff. Maybe not directly, like look over a flag or certain stuff like that. It's getting taken over. But otherwise than that, you really have nothing to do. You really have nothing to do. Like, a lot of people, I might even pre-order Far Cry 6. I'm not sure about that one, but the PS5 and stuff, I was looking forward to pre-ordering that. I feel like that's a done deal. And the only reason why I can possibly tell you why that's a done deal is because when you play a game or you buy a game with that type of money, and the money aspect is a smaller bit of it, but like 2K, okay, that's from like 107, but that's besides the point. That's a little bit too much money. Like, I had to realize that that's a little bit too much money. And I see people are playing the crap out this game. This game is fun. I'm not going to deny this game is fun, but this game is going to lose its value over time. Because the way they have the stuff set up with the aiming, you know, the macros and certain stuff like that, you go in the computer programming basically with a modded controller and then set the stuff up. And, you know, you can green. Like, I saw the video with the guy going up there and greening. I don't have time for that. But 2K should have known better. 2K tries to implement stuff and they're going to have to wind up taking it away. Like, how stupid can you be, in a sense, as a gaming, you know, designer or developer? You don't know that people are looking for exploits. 2K's always had some type of game-breaking exploit, no matter how you look at it. And it breaks the game. And you lose your casual base. You're trying to focus on competitive. Oh, we're going to add a skillful thing with that. But 2K is not a game of skill. Rarely do I feel like you win with the game of skill on 2K. A lot of this stuff like the behind the back, explosive behind the back, double screen, you know, someone having, people even screening and stuff on 2K20. Like, you couldn't do anything. Like the glass lock, they had the rebound the wing in the corner, the double behind the back, explosive, the rebound the wing is spotting up in the corner, and you know the slash and play could either dunk, he could lob it to the center could cut up the middle for a free dunk. You tried to play sides. Like, 2K is not a game which you're going to win. It's a game of exploits, and you have to learn how to win with it or win without it. I don't use exploits to win. Like, if I cooked you, I make a player that's not that good in my opinion each year. And if I made like a guard, I don't feel like making my player a guard. Like I don't even want to even be a shooting guard. I know that sounds crazy, but it makes no sense to me to be a guard. I feel like a small forward is something realistic for me. Like, the way I play personally, it's realistic. A small forward's whole point on the floor is to completely score and dominate. But small forwards the last couple years have been terrible. And my whole thing with the balancing component to it, everything on this game is unbalanced. And there's no way that you can try to say it's not. 2K has really done a horrible job here in terms of like patches and then messing stuff up. It don't even have to be anything too crazy, but it definitely has to do with just even some small stuff. It don't even have to be anything that serious. So one thing I could probably say about 2K, in my honest opinion, that makes it terrible, in a sense, it's I wouldn't say the bait and switch. Like, you know, I pre-ordered the game. last minute. Like, I said I wasn't gonna pre-order it, but I feel like it had its perks and then it has drawbacks. This game is only gonna be playable for like maybe another month because you know, PS5 is about to be right here. I didn't get my hand on the PS5, but I got the money. I'm just saving up right now. And my thoughts on that, the PS5, for what it's worth, I don't think they're going to have enough launch titles, or they can't keep up with the demand. I signed up for the invite from PlayStation to pre-order it, and I was going to get the digital edition because I really don't I don't like disc anymore, because disc, like, I had console, my PS4, some of my games got scratched up by my PS4 because of disc drive. That's another thing I don't like about it. It just depends, or my disc has gotten stuck inside the PS4, and that's the biggest issue. And then I had to take it to this place. It's called You Break I Fix. Yeah, to fix that and then fix the HDMI port. I've had some crazy things happen with my PS4 over my time. Like, I would say about 4 years ago, yeah, my PS4 just stopped working. And I just took it to, yeah, You Break I Fix, and they fixed my console. Haven't had any problems with it, but the first PS4 I got the last PS4 in my state. That was the Christmas time. My parents went and got it, but yeah. That's green. But I feel like it's definitely important not to make another build. For what it's worth, this game is only going to be good for like another, maybe not even a couple more weeks. And the way I see it, everything's all relative because this game could be good one day and the next day it's just like complete doo-doo. That was so fake. That was so fake. Let me see if my ball control's at 87. I just want to know if it's intermittent or something like that. It's still 86, so I can't speed boost. Yeah. You can kind of see that I can dribble a little bit. Green. I'm not crazy with it, but I could be. I don't even think that was 100% green. But I know I got that green animation and the green machine popped up. That was just a brick. I want to know how is it that, in a sense, we can't transfer on my players, and I know why it is, so they can try to squeeze more money out of you. But at the same time, what happens to my team card? Are you telling me that I have to have a whole new my team card? The my team portion transfers over your cards, but that doesn't make sense from a logistical standpoint. Why would they allow that? I'm gonna get myself some water real quick. I need some water. Alright guys, I'm back. Give myself some good old water. Build. It doesn't. I knew specifically when I made this build that this was going to be a one and done type of thing. I knew my build had a lot of potential, for one. I knew how my build, because I had the same build last year, but this build is a whole lot faster than what it was last year. It has two more speed, more lateral quickness, at least +4 on that. The steal rating is kind of suspect, because my steal's like 73, but at takeover 78. James Harden.
That consistency. The teams that do, they believe in themselves and they keep playing to their strength. Why is consistency so hard? Because you're not playing against yourself.
I was telling somebody like Giannis. People talking about Giannis is not an MVP type player. I'm still thinking about you talking about LeBron is doing more. I feel like that's just pissing LeBron off not getting MVP. But the way I see it here realistically, like Giannis, he plays good, but like imagine averaging like 30 points a game and your team, not saying it's bad, but you don't have any. The East is kind of weak. That's honestly how I think about the East. The East is kind of weak. The matchups and stuff like that. If you think about just the seeds and the way how stuff is working now, no comp. I would say, because you got some definite teams that just weren't, they're not really doing anything. Honestly, like the Pistons, they were doing real good last year. They were doing real good. Derrick Rose, they had a few other people. Then they traded with a franchise player, what's his name? Andre Drummond. I didn't understand for life of me. I couldn't understand that, but at the same time, they wanted to move on. But like, I feel like too, in a sense, Detroit Pistons, they had a 76ers situation going on where the best two players were 6'10" and above. Front court was kind of sus, and then the back court was kind of just terrible too. Derrick Rose is actually doing pretty good, but Derrick Rose has been on a journey. He's been on a journey. He was shooting like 40% from three. Not even sure exactly which team he's playing for anymore. But last time I was really following Derrick Rose, he was on the Timberwolves. So I'm not even sure what team he's even on now. There's certain players they really get nothing. Yeah, he played for the Pistons. Yeah, he's still on the Pistons. The Pistons, they were, I don't know. Yeah, Derrick Rose has been pretty solid here. But like I'm saying, like, the campaign for a team is not going to be that good if, like, you have limited talent. You can't expect somebody to go out there and on limited minutes or whatever, or limited role, come out there, you're not the first scoring option. Now I'm still thinking about the people who really went to Detroit, like the Stanley Jackson, when they tried to go with this campaign, try to make him... Stanley Jackson was good defensively, but I feel like there's a group of individuals and certain stuff that really played like him, in a sense, limited role. They're decent role players. They filled a role. Like people talking about Tony Snell was good. Tony Snell is a good defensive player, 6'7", but past that, I mean, limited role, emphasis on limited role. But yeah, Tony Snell, and he's on the Pistons right now. And again, it's just like, yeah, limited minutes. Tony Snell is a glorified role player. Pistons really don't have a good front court, good back court either. Like,
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far.
yeah, when they had Andre Drummond, they was actually doing pretty good. It broke even a 500 record. That's not bad, but it's still kind of sus.
First half, he's going to be more than a handful.
Yeah, the defense didn't do a very good job of staying connected.
I feel like some people don't care about being .500. They only won like 30 games. Winning 40 games is a valuable option for a team that knows they're running on a limited, definitely on a limited type of role. And it's you think about personnel changes, like for NFL, the Panthers are doo doo. Panthers are doo doo. Nobody can tell me that Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, just because you good on a team don't mean that you're gonna want to play there forever. The Panthers are bad. They pretty much lost their heart and soul. The team, Cam Newton, Ron Rivera, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olsen, all those different people. People talking about Kelvin Benjamin is doo doo. Kelvin Benjamin actually was good. Kelvin Benjamin was good. And that's why he on a winning team. Panthers are doo-doo. I'm not a Panthers hater, but the Panthers, for what they put out there and what they tried to do, I mean, Cam Newton gonna be Cam Newton at the end of the day. But I think they want to get rid of him. And they did. But the way in which they did it, the whole front office right there, it just basically dissect the whole team. And I'm surprised people can even still be a diehard Panthers fan, honestly. Like, I know one of my friends is was a diehard Thunder fan, but the front office, they got rid of everybody. Yeah, that was a wrap.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
But just trying to prevent the
Football. Football season, I don't know, bro. A lot of teams not doing anything. I still think that the Cowboys W was, and I'm kind of a Cowboys fan, but that W was illegitimate. I definitely feel like that W was illegitimate. They get that field goal and kick it in there at 40-39. I feel like that game was shaved. That game was shaved because they're like that was not a good game at all, literally at all. Because most of the time, if you think about it, if a game was really within a 2 minute mark or really in the 1 minute and 30 second, they end the game. Just depending on how the ball. Some people just spike the ball, waste time, run the clock out. But yeah, that one right there, I don't feel like that game was shaved, man. That's just my personal opinion. Terrible game. Panthers are not doing anything. Not gonna do anything at all. I'm kind of speed boosting a little bit.
54 seconds up in the third quarter. The Magic shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line. Robert Covington's checked in for Houston.
You know what I'm still thinking about in a sense about this? That I feel like what you call it, if 2K had a 21 court, people would be boosting. That's another reason I missed the 21 court on 2K16. I know people get tired of talking about, the pass or 2K. That was not even a green. So I'm not even sure what they got going on. I can tell when a shot is green.
And he's been dominant here thus far. Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. And stolen by White.
Bruh.
Down by Johnson. He usually takes advantage of D like that. Should have been a simple layup.
Oh yeah, I can ask out Sam. There we go.
This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled. You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You'd never expect a road team to come in and just cruise.
Dang, Kelvin Benjamin gone.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Chris Webber, Craig Anthony, and David Olden, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.
I guess Kelvin Benjamin got that Victor Cruz treatment. Get him on out of there. That's tough. But there's a number of players I feel like they came and went out the league quick. It don't really matter which sport. Barry Sanders. There's other few people that come to mind. Dez Bryant, I feel like his career over. He's content with. I feel like he'll be a good high school coach or some type of team coach, something like that. Like just working with kids or something like that. That's probably what he's gonna do. Running routes or doing camps, something like that. Let me think of another person who's kind of went in and out the league quick too. Oh yeah, Victor Cruz. He still had a game left in him, but I feel like once you start phasing out, once you get to that 32 age range in the league, or at least in football, you pretty much are going to get out at that point. There's no doubt about that in the back of my mind. Ugh, there's no doubt. Let me change my clothes because I don't want people looking at my card. Let me see the event schedule. Wednesday, why would they know people gonna be boosting so hard. That's what I was about to say. They should have definitely gave me. I did not have that. I did not have that. For the life of me, I did not have that.
Every home game's an occasion here in Orlando. And as they came in earlier, the Magic were dressed for what they hope is a special night for them and their fans. A spectacular sight as we approach our ship. We are nearly... Hey, Kevin. Great stuff as always.
Or I just be thinking about something. It'd be funny, or just certain stuff. Someone said you said something, bro. I'd be thinking about it. Some stuff you really have to question why somebody would think you said something. Like, consider the sources, man. Consider the sources, G. Or, like, especially like someone says that I think this game is trash. I do think this game in the sense is trash. I mean, it's playable, but I don't mean it's good. The playability of this game is like, it's minimal, because the likelihood if you spending hours on this, then again, I'm not going to say hours because I don't want to really make somebody mad at saying that, oh yeah, this game is just unplayable. It's playable as long as you have a consistent type of thing or consistent people to run with. But the reality is, when PS5 comes out, you're going to have people who fade over to the PS5. You're going to have people who fade over to, still on here. And then, you know, you lose that, and then you're going to find people to run with. So either way I look at it, I don't know. LeBron James should not have no 84 three-pointer. What is that based off of? LeBron's not a good free throw shooter. He's not a good three-point shooter. Michael Jordan wasn't good at three-pointer. He shot 32% from but he's greatest of all time.
You also have some bigs to really get after it, and I'm sure you've got some guys that stand out in your mind in the game now.
Let's just thinking about someone asked me who do I think is the best player all time in baseball. If we're talking about batting average, it's Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb has the best batting average in MLB history.
He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte.
I know that for a fact. But I think baseball, anything now, realistically with sports, I don't think it's really, to me, it's marginal. Like sports right now, it's not like, you know, phenomenal. It's like, oh, the bubble and stuff is allowed for, in my honest opinion, maybe marginalized games, like games, you know, yeah, you're getting to see LeBron play, but LeBron and the people around him ain't really doing anything. And I did not hear something about Anthony Davis getting like supposedly hurt. I'm not sure. I keep up with the score and certain stuff like that. But the way I see it, let me just see. How can stuff be done? The way I think stuff can be done is going to be, it could be minimal, honestly. It could be minimal. For what I think of a game or a sport, I consider stuff to be the bare minimum. Like you watching the game, minimal, I would say minimal playing time from people. Danny Green, he need to get on out the league. Because the way I see it, Danny Green has been in the league way too long, and his skill set and stuff is diminishing. Airballing, corner three, don't know how to run a fast break, just sit up here popping through. You ain't got it, man. You ain't got it. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it, man. I hope 2K has some type of new archetype system for 2K21 on next gen, and not the crap that they got. Because I want to have a character who has like 79 3 ball or something like that, but can speed boost. And with the 99 thing, 83 3 ball. Because the way I see it, that would be real good for me. That would work. Because I don't really need a high 3-pointer, but I feel like I need to be able to shoot a little bit. I feel like I need to be able to shoot a little bit. But I feel like the 80 range is really where you really want to be at. That's your bread and butter. Because I feel like at a certain point, you can't have a 75 3 ball with Hall of Fame shooting badges. That's just not the way that works.
Now, here is Smith. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Here's LeBron. Los Angeles with another miss. And that is the exact type of opportunity this offense is looking to create. Get the ball.
How am I going to break a wide open shot?
More often than not, you're coming away with points. And they always say great offense beats great defense, but let's give those elite defenders their due. Shaq, who stands out as the best defensive player?
There was someone talking about social media. I deleted my social media just until I feel comfortable getting back on it. Yeah. I mean, ain't nothing really. I just be chilling, bro. I've been hitting my push-ups. I've been working out, trying to get my abs and stuff back. I ate like a pasta. I worked out for like 3 hours. I shouldn't have done that, and what I had for dinner was like a grilled chicken sandwich. That was good. But the food that I got, my parents got, was like a burger and a salad, and they messed that junk up. How do you mess a salad up? They didn't give the correct sauces. A salad and stuff could be actually messed up. It could be soggy. You know, the lettuce and stuff can be wilted. They're like, you really have to be trying hard to mess up a salad. You really have to be, like, that's nasty. Like, they serve somebody with some lettuce that's been wilted and all beat up and it's turning different colors, black. You know, that right there is that's not a good look. Or, and then, like, the protein. Like, I remember someone talking about a good salad costs, $10. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Anything, well, then again, I can't necessarily say that because, if you go to a Whole Foods or a Fresh Market, you're pretty much going to pay that. That's a standard thing. If you're a professional and stuff like that, you go to some of these places like a Wegmans, I feel like that's going to be a common thing. They pay that amount of money for a lunch, $10, but then again, you make $150 a year or something like that. The $10 is $10. I don't care how you look at it. $10 is $10. I'm not saying that's a good price, but yeah. But I think a lot of stuff, when it come down to it, when it's all said and done, you really not gonna do that much about some food. You're really not gonna do that much about some food, honestly. And what I mean by you're not gonna do so much about some food, it's okay. You see the option, you see the selection of food that you can get. On any given day, some food can be trash. I don't care where it is. If you're talking about Chick-fil-A is good, Chick-fil-A and stuff that I've been getting, I get grilled chicken sandwich. Like the other day, I got some nuggets, and nuggets weren't even all that. How do you you'd be surprised. I've been getting stuff. If I were to go sit down in a restaurant, I make an assessment. I'll order stuff that it's going to be pretty hard to mess up. Like, you ever skeptical about a restaurant, it's always safe to go with something that it's going to be kind of hard to mess up, like a grilled chicken sandwich, some finger foods or something like that. Just to get a feel of it. Like, don't go to some place that you don't know and try to order a ribeye sandwich, because, that right there, you can't see the steak and stuff like that. It could be rare, for one. They didn't cook it. Or then, especially with burgers, how is one side of a burger well and the other side of it is medium? That right there is that's terrible. You can never get a perfect burger or perfect steak from places, because it depends on the cook. And I don't like that. When you go to a place, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And in a way, I'm still thinking about, especially at restaurants, they're supposed to cook something. They're supposed to cook stuff with the meat thermometer. Like, essentially, the place I be going to, they're supposed to cook with a meat thermometer. 130 degrees is medium or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. But other stuff, it's a certain thing, the temperature check that they're supposed to do for all this other stuff. They're not doing that. I know they're reaching. Or I know people talking about people doing certain stuff. I mean, to me, in a sense, especially going to restaurants and stuff like that, in my honest opinion, I feel like a lot of food and stuff is a quality control issue. You're never going to get the freshest amount of, or the portion size. I'm not trying to get over on people or whatever. A $7 entree, it don't benefit me to, I got $7. Come on now. But at the same time, thinking about it, even the presentation of food, it could look terrible. And you cannot tell me that something don't look terrible, in a sense. You slapping a burger all together, all raggedy, it doesn't look appetizing. Then you check in there, the stuff was messy, the whole thing, the patty, they slap, 2 pieces of bread up there and stuff's all the cheese. That's not good. That is not good. Well, that's 2 points. I've been watching Sister. I've been working on my French. That's honestly what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, just working on my French and stuff like that. I've been doing that for a while, and I feel like it's paying off. I might take French next semester. That's gonna be a GPA booster, honestly. Going to school in a pandemic and then just the information, or just trying to cover new concepts in a week. And to me, a lot of this stuff is unhealthy. And it's unhealthy for people to try to normalize opening up schools or trying to open up restaurants and try to have that social feel when coronavirus and stuff is a sociable disease. You know, you don't even have to be doing anything. You get it. You feel violated because people will seriously come around you and certain stuff. You don't know who has and who doesn't. That's the crazy thing about it. Like you can have with no symptoms, or you can have some symptoms that somebody might think, oh, this is a sinus or something like that. I feel like that's crazy. But at the same time, I don't know, bro. I told somebody like a long time ago, I don't think that there's no place in the world that's perfect. Every place got its own issues. You got to see it through in a sense. But give or take, I don't know, man. Give or take, I don't know. But a lot of people think America's a superpower and stuff like that. 8 million cases in the United States alone, and the population is like 330 million or something like that, last time I recall. You see, they hedging.
These guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max. Is it good for the game? I think so.
I think Kyle Lowry, one team that's about to be a contender that's about to lose their whole lineup next year or this offseason, Raptors. I wholeheartedly believe that the Raptors will lose everybody on that team. Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry, there's a few other players. Fred VanVleet is like the only person I know is possibly going to stay. He has a solid role, but he's a glorified role player too. He's not bad. I don't never think he's bad. But at the same time, being a contending team to lose your people overnight after Kawhi got them that ring, and it didn't invalidate it. But at the same time, when you think about it, I wouldn't say that was a fluke. But that's a 1 in a million type of thing. That's like the Athletics, the Oakland Athletics winning that, that thing that was focused on their all-season moves. And then, the statistics behind that of formulating a good team to win. I think that's the name of the film, Hardball. That film was pretty good. It shows, what all-season moves and what people had to do in the front office can affect the team. But then again, the Raptors, they were good, but Pascal Siakam, he's good, but he was a glorified role player. He was most improved. He's decent. At the same time, you gotta think about the offense. What works and what doesn't. If you know what works and what doesn't work, I think you'll be a little bit better off, in terms of knowing your role, on a team. Is that Damian Dotson? Yeah. The one thing I will say about teams and certain stuff, I can tell which team is terrible. And someone said that I said Spencer Dinwiddie. I wouldn't say he's a bad player, but he's a role player. Just because you average 22 points a game, and he's been in the G League a couple times, the league is watered down talent. And what I mean by watered down talent, people talking about Alex Caruso is good. I'm not saying I don't think he's good. But what I'm saying, he just serves a role. He's not the most, I think, in a sense, just because you can throw up some clips of somebody dunking the ball, that's minimal. You only average, 5-6 points a game in the league. Everything's all relative. Some people don't want to, score that, 25 points a game average or, that 14 points a game average. You're not going to get that. The one player that I think could have done more, but I feel like they're not going to ever really get the chance. Gerald Green has honestly been good, but I feel like it's 2013 I'm talking about. Gerald Green, he was pretty good. Gerald Green and Terrence Ross are two decent people, honestly. The one player that I think that really came out the league, he had kind of a story, but it really didn't transfer to anything, is Jonathan Simmons. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. I think he overseas. There's been players out here that you really have not heard of in a while. Oh, he in the G League again. Dang. Feel bad for that man.
Artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball.
He had to pay money to try out. Jonathan Simmons was not bad. 14 points a game. He's not bad, but then again, everything's all relative. If you get an offense and stuff that works, you know, you're doing your thing. But the moment I feel like you can't do that, or personnel changes, and then the team is looking for it in a move or something like that, you gonna go. It don't matter. Like Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin is an okay player. I don't think that he's necessarily the most flashiest or the most best, but I think his court vision is okay. Everything's all relative to me. Everything's all relative. So I don't really think that he's going to be one of them type of players that, oh yeah, he's going to get you 22 points a game. He's not one of those people. But he is a solid presence where he's been at. Yeah, he went back to Beijing. Like, you know, players and stuff really be going back to China and certain stuff like that. Like the one player that I think went in the league too fast and then kind of fell off. There's a number of people who did some stuff like Monte Ellis, Tyreek Evans. Let's see of another player that I can think of. Got the money and just got out the league. Short-lived careers. Bernard James. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. He played with the Mavericks that when Dirk won in 2011. He's not doing anything, and he's 35. Yeah, once you get to that age range, like yeah, you're pretty much going to be out.
They just haven't been able to get over the hump. Outside Fournier. Here's White. And yep, finally touched it, rolling around the rim.
But one of the players I can honestly say that's kind of bad in a sense, I would say there's a number. Jared Dudley is bad. Troy Daniels, they should never even got him on the Lakers to begin with. I know he's been gone for a while, but that one right there was not a good personnel thing. You know, you're getting people on there who I wouldn't even say they serve some type of role, but the capacity they're at to play with LeBron, come on now. J.R. Smith. I mean, J.R. Smith is not bad, and he's not good either. But there's certain people who good in playoff runs, like Andre Iguodala. Is he still with what you call it? He might get himself a ring if everything goes straight. That's how I honestly think he made a come up. Because even if he loses in the thing, he's still getting paid. He is still getting paid. Even if they do go to the finals, the Celtics are down 2-3 right now, and the Heat are up 3-2. So. I mean, he jumped up at the right time. I was working on my French, honestly. That's what I've been doing the last couple weeks, man. Like, you know, just focusing on my French, just doing that, you know, working out for like 2 hours, 30 minutes. That's what I be doing, man. Doing these push-ups, you know, trying to get my abs and stuff. Trying to eat healthy, I guess. But the thing I feel like people just need to stop demonizing like carbs and certain stuff like that. If you have good carbs, like honestly, it wouldn't be the smartest thing to eat a pasta, like 2 pastas and stuff like that, or just have a big portion of pasta. But like if you go out there and you're using that energy from that, you know, I feel like eating a pasta is not bad if you go. That can fuel maybe a 6-mile run if you want to do it like that. That'd be really good. You know, you're burning calories. You know, you're keeping active, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But at the same time, everything is all relative, in my opinion. But the thing I don't really understand is what people do is getting on these little health kicks. Like yeah, like. so on serious, like, or it's like, people sitting up here, like, someone's a diabetic. You can't go out here and you don't have sugars. You decide like, okay, I didn't have a sugary type of thing, but I saved up my sugars, my calories, so I can go out here and get me a honey bun cake or eat something like that. That'll spike your sugar up, man. What are you doing? Or certain stuff like that. Or your blood sugar stuff's already high. You gonna drink milk. Milk is lactose, man. Milk in itself is not sweet, but then again, has natural sugars. So if your blood sugar is already high, there's some stuff people do. It don't make no sense. And your blood sugar is too high and stuff like that, you can be temporarily blinded. There's a whole lot of other stuff too. Or people and stuff getting, amputations because of their blood sugar and stuff high. Like, what are you doing? Leave ribs, drinking and stuff alone, or, just unhealthy type of stuff. I feel like you gotta throw down the Sunday kitchen. Food and stuff is good when you're actually trying to do stuff. Like when you're eating correctly. I don't overindulge in food. Like, I really don't. Like, I mainly eat grilled, but the pasta stuff, I probably today, in a sense, I really didn't overindulge and stuff like that. But I most definitely burned that off. But I probably shouldn't have worked out as long as I did. But I was just shooting hoop. Man, having fun. That's what I did today. For something, give me something to do. So, hey, lack of better words, that was beneficial in my opinion, the way I saw it. Let's see if they make my three-pointer and stuff go down. So my three-pointer can't be higher than a 98, but my mid-range shot. We whooped on LeBron. Green. Green.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans. They gave the team tremendous energy tonight. The fans were fantastic. It was a true home court advantage.
Let's see what LeBron free throw rating is, because that's kind of sus. LeBron's free throw rate should be a 64. Now, I'm hoping that it is a 64. That almost went in. That's the crazy thing about that. I might play a few more games, but I know I have to be on the money tomorrow about watching this little module thing, talking about this healthcare system, what I think about it, what's some issues and stuff that can arise. Like, more technical stuff. And to me, I don't know, bro. Like, if I have a halfway bad semester, I don't know. I don't know, but I know the next semester, like a spring semester, hopefully I get through these courses and stuff like that. I know 2 of them, it's going to be good, but I feel like the 3 that I have with this particular professor, is going to be what you call it. I'm not going to say it's going to be smooth sailing, because at least I do come to class. There's people I haven't seen out of like 20 people. I know they're failing. I know for sure they're failing. And then about it with my school, I'm not going to say the professors and stuff can't fail people, but if you go into class, in a sense, they give you a little bit more of a competitive or some type of pool and stuff. You turn in assignments, you trying to participate in class, you're trying to do stuff, you keep being engaged, and they got to take that into account. But at the same time, with like going to school, you really can't complain. Like if somebody's a department chair or something like that, and they're a horrible professor, you have that in, college. School does not get better. The only time I could honestly tell people that school was actually good is elementary school. After that, school just starts going downhill. You know, you deal with people's bad attitudes. They don't care about the kids. You know, everything's about dollars at that point. Everything at that point becomes dollars, like federal chartered dollars coming in there. Like a principal can get, you know, 175, 250 a year. But the principal and stuff is a head teacher. That's really what it is. You have to have a PhD in educational leadership or something like that, or organizational leadership. But there's no leadership at schools, honestly, and that's not me being funny. That's just what I've seen and what I personally know. There's certain schools and certain stuff not hitting marks. What I mean by marks is a metric. Everything in life is a metric, whether we agree with that or not. Like, you're being judged in a sense, just out of other candidates or different people. You're being judged for that. What do you bring to the table? And that, I mean, that goes even with dating and stuff too. What do you bring to the table? There's a whole lot of stuff too that for life of me, you know, some stuff it is what it is. But you know, you gotta be real with yourself at the same time, and then, like, you know, not let stuff get to you at the same time or manner. It's just a certain stuff to me, or, you know, you gotta get to your destination. And what that means, a lot of people may come and go. It is what it is. You know, you just gotta keep pushing. I mean, that's life. You know, you get dealt with the cards and certain stuff like that. You know, I wouldn't expect anybody to do anything for me. And that's just being real. Like, you know, I see homeless people. You know, some people, they got issues, like mental issues and stuff like that. They're not taking their medicine. They're abusing drugs, abusing alcohol and certain stuff like that. And the issues and stuff arose from alcohol or something like that. They have a episode or something like that. They just be out there trying to get through. But it's whatever, man. It is whatever. But I know, in a way, sometimes you feel sorry for people, you legitimately do, but you know, you can't enable somebody. Like, why would you enable somebody with substance abuse issues to give them money or something like that? And they out there drugging. That don't make any sense. Like, you know, the thing about it, people know drugs and stuff is bad. Like, you know, their life go downhill. Like, it goes downhill. That one high then costs them, you know, years of their life. They can't get over that high, whatever that they get from, you know, drugs and stuff like that. And they never be the same. That's why people shouldn't do drugs in general and certain stuff like that. They can't, you know, even with weed and certain stuff, people talk about they like to get out their mind or certain stuff like that. That's people's prerogative. I don't think that weed is for everybody, and I wholeheartedly believe that. You know, some people can smoke weed and certain stuff like that, you know, they can function, but the stuff people be doing, just, nah. I don't do drugs, I don't use drugs, won't have anything to do with drugs, that's just me. Now, people talking about, do I think marijuana and stuff has medicinal properties? I do believe, in a sense, it does, but at the same time, everything's all relative to me. It really is all relative. At the same time, I don't want to hear people talking about glaucoma, you know, I need it for my cataracts. Like, come on, man. I was thinking about in other countries and certain stuff like that. There people really be out here with cataracts, like, you know, in Asia and stuff like that, and it's a sign or something. Like, it'd be weird. Like, I'm not going to be, you know, ethnocentric talking about down people's culture. But yeah, there was a man who had a cataract in his eye, but he had like a Escalade or whatever. I was watching documentary and stuff like that. They had an Escalade and certain stuff. Like, he was an older gentleman. You know, he had a group of people around him, and I was like, you know, the one thing I don't understand, I think is just weird, is having people up under people, or just following, like, you know, you being a flunky for somebody. That right there is just weird. Always been weird to me. I would never want nobody up under me, or, you know, doing certain stuff like that. That's just weird to me. I've always considered that weird. And besides the point, I think a lot of stuff, in a way, I feel like a lot of stuff is just foul in a sense. Like I was telling somebody, like, if someone's behind bars and stuff, I believe people do change, but then again, it has to be a personal change and stuff like that. You know, if your life is messed up, you have like you're a felon, you're a 17-year-old felon. What are you doing to be a 17-year-old felon? For one, you can't get no job and stuff. That's on you. You know, I try to make, some certain, like some exceptions, people hang around the wrong crowd and stuff like that, they lost or something like that. But at the same time, that's not, real life skills in a way. That's just stupid. Like, breaking and entering into somebody's home or something like that, kicking in people's doors. You get caught with that, somebody could shoot you, so that's their right. Yeah, like, and I hate to put it like that. If you break into somebody's home, they don't know what you up here doing. They don't know whether or not you have a gun. So you break into somebody's home, they're legally within their right and stuff like that to shoot you. But I feel like a lot of stuff is just crazy in a sense. Like somebody getting an accident and they just asking for help or something like that. People been shot dead for that. I have a problem with that. There's a lot of stuff just been weird or something like that, but it is what it is, bro. The one person I'm disappointed in just need to shut his mouth is Charles Barkley. That fool ran his mouth talking about the police state and stuff like that, supporting police. I feel like, do I support police? I would say yeah and no, in a sense. I'm neutral on certain stuff. I never am 100% sold on bull that happens and certain stuff like that. But I feel like, it's just a thing where I feel like there needs to be some type of wide spread reform, prison reform, and some police reform, because they got all this different type of stuff, these workshops and stuff like that about diversity or just stops or how to conduct this stuff. This stuff goes out the window, and it's made by cops for cops, and the biggest thing is the departments buying into it. It is what it is, but at the same time, there's been stuff that cops have done, wrongful death lawsuits, people, riding, motorcycles and stuff like that, they block off a scene, people died, just riding the motorcycle, cops and stuff flying, it really don't have to be anything too crazy. There's a lot of stuff people getting sued for, or police departments and stuff like that. It could be crazy. It don't have to be anything like always a shooting. It could just be something as simple as, just not handling certain stuff or, properly doing certain stuff. And I'm still thinking about it in a way. And I was still thinking about someone saying, like, in high school, I never said certain stuff. Now I know how to conduct myself in a way. I'm not, justifying all race and group of people commit crimes. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then, like, black on black crime, that doesn't exist. If you're in a poverty-stricken area, you don't really see opportunity, like gangs and stuff. Gangs and stuff is bad. I don't support gangs and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people know that the street stuff, you're gonna take more L's if not. But people talking about getting this fast money or whatever, that right there is how you end up in a body bag. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Everybody know that. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of stuff is misguided, directed, like something like that. Like we had this thing where, like, we had a speaker at my school. He went to prison and stuff like that. He found his passion was cooking. He used to work in a prison thing. He used to make cakes and stuff like that. He used to say used to steal, like, items and stuff like that and make, cakes and stuff like that. or you know, he got his passion for cooking, and when he got out of prison and stuff like that, he started that. And he has what you call it, this thing, his cakes and stuff, like his red velvet cake is pretty good. Not gonna lie, we bought the stuff. Now I really don't eat sweets. Anybody knows me, I don't really eat sweets. I rather go for food. I might indulge in sweet every now and then, but I'm not really much of a sweets person. I'm not much of a sweets person. Like, I won't eat in a way, like I won't eat, you know, some chocolate chip cookie, like full chocolate chip cookies. I won't do that. Like a Chips Ahoy, before I would like eat Chips Ahoy a little bit, but I don't like the Chips Ahoy chewy. That's nasty. And speaking of Chips Ahoy, if I go to the store, I might get some, but in my opinion, but then again, I don't like Oreos. It is something about that cream filling. One time I seriously, like, this was like when I was like 9 or 10 or something like that. I went to this little church event, and they gave us a whole lot of, they gave us a whole thing, sleeve, one of them big little containers of Oreos, and I ate that whole thing. I ate that whole thing in a day. I was watching South Park. That was way back when I used to watch South Park. But yeah, that one right there, bro. That's why I just kind of stopped, like, you know, liking Oreos, because like that cream filling, it's good, but at the same time, that makes Oreo. I'm not going to never say that, you know, Oreos and stuff is bad, but that one right there, once you eat too much of something or you just blow it up, it doesn't become good. Now I do like Oreo milkshakes, you know, but I'm good off that, because I'm actually trying to get my abs and certain stuff like that. I'm trying to actually do that, but the proper nutrition and certain stuff like that, that's what we're trying to do. But I know tomorrow I definitely have to get some work done and try to get some things correct. So yeah, man, it just really be on some stuff. Or I'm still thinking about people talking about platforms and certain stuff that live in raggedy, or certain stuff like that. What I mean by living raggedy is exactly what I mean by living raggedy. Like, let me think of something. Let me say this correctly. Like in a sense, for instance, like a lot of stuff what I do, like, you know, a lot of people know that, like, in a sense, what I think about certain stuff, like he talking about smoking, like, you know, people be smoking weed, you know, that's not my job. You know, people gonna do what they're gonna do, and people gonna be people. That's just a fact. But at the same time and token, there people could be smoking certain stuff like that, and like 6 years is gone. They're not doing anything, and that's not me being funny. That's just facts. They're not doing anything, and they know that themselves. Like, you know, maybe they just smoke to get the edge off or from the day to day stuff. But you know, 6 years and stuff like goes by. Like, you know, some people ain't doing anything. And that's not funny when you think about it. And I'm still thinking about, I was watching this guy on YouTube. His name is Do It Jack. I hope he's doing well. But he said, what you call it, you stop smoking weed and, like, you know, just focus on the hustle. Like himself a camera photography business. And that's actually doing great for him and certain stuff like that. He focused before, you know, like once you stop quitting weed, you save like $10,000 or something like that. He spent $10,000. People who do that, that's just kind of dumb, for one, and it's not a necessity. Now you spending time like that you really don't have. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of people are spending time that they don't have. Kiro. This guy's trash. A perimeter lock. Yeah, I'm not playing against no perimeter lock. The guy's kind of bad. Yeah, ain't no way I'm about to do that to myself. But yeah, there's just certain stuff I just don't do. Like in the grand scheme of things, 'cause I feel like time is all relative to what you got. And in a way, like, you know, we all are, you know, focusing on time. Time is just, I wouldn't say it's relative. It's just really short. Like, you know, a lot of people take stuff for granted. Like even like in a sense, you know, a year. In a sense, it's day by day. 'Cause a year and stuff seems long. I mean, you think about your day to day life schedule, places, things to see, people you interact with, or just certain stuff like that. That can make time fly. Or then time, like, you know. And then another thing, especially me being in school, you know, 50 minutes with certain people feel like hell. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It's like 50 minutes. You know, I have a professor. I'm not calling him out, but he doesn't talk about anything. The stuff is not engaging. This man will seriously talk about you know, a car or a phone in Nigeria. What does that have to do with core competencies in a firm? What does that have to do with what does that have to do with firms? What does that have to do with strategic management? That has nothing to do with firms and certain stuff like that. Wow. What's his overall rating? He should be an 82. Ain't no way. Ain't no way that man's a 78. Ain't no way in the world that man's a 78. What is that based off of? Yeah, there's no way that you can average 17 points a game in a 78. They trying hard to hit on that man. They know he was fouling me. That was a clear dunk.
White against Butler. To the wing right side. Fultz finds White. That's the 3-5. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made. And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
That's a cut. This is a 3. This is a 3. I'll foul for it. Because that's a 50-50. That's a 50-50. Either it's going to be a mid-range, or you got to know the offense who does stuff. Like back in the 2K13 days, it would just be Lob City against the Clippers. Just how they were doing. Just like...
gets hit. On the pass it to White. It's a three.
Bruh.
They are coming into this having lost to win against the Knicks in their last game.
Yeah, and that
This is 3.
I thought they took advantage of some sloppy plays, but give them credit. They turned mistakes into points.
I was correct. That was a 3. That was a 3 all day long. I could see it.
Some credit. Every time that opponent turned it over, they capitalized.
Becoming a true force on the offensive glass. Love how hard Collins.
Wow, the tenacity of Aaron Gordon, the athleticism is just amazing.
And Dragic bringing up the ball for Miami. And this one, the first chance they've had to see her win.
Yeah, and the season series between these two, 4 games at all, starting tonight, a chance to stake out an advantage in the division.
White against Butler. Over in the corner, Fultz. And the dunk by Bamba.
Well, Markel Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
There's one thing that's never been an issue for Fultz, that handle. Great at navigating in traffic for himself or creating opportunities for his teammates.
Right, Markel is so adept at using change of pace, change of direction. It's a little bit of a herky-jerky motion. He'll lull you to sleep and then out of nowhere cross you over. This guy is fun to watch.
Now we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. White dishes to Gordon. Back to White.
It's good fool.
Buries it from three-point range. White's got the lead up.
I might get off after this, G. Not gonna lie to you guys.
As there is, you've got to stay connected.
Might open up my team pack or something, just for the comedic purpose of just seeing what I could get. My team is just doo-doo. Nobody can tell me that my team is comedic. It's almost laughable. Consider how it's a mode. Because the gravy train has been my team for a while. If somebody says that the gravy train, my team is not a gravy train, they're smoking something. The position locks are a way to scam people out of money, for one. My team limited the pool $250,000. That's a whole lot of money. But then again, what are you doing for accounting purposes? You know that you're not gonna get $250,000 after taxes. You probably looking at, I would say 160. And then if you have a good accountant, you're probably gonna be looking at, I would say you're probably looking at 130 after everything is said and done. And then, you get $130,000. What you gonna do with that? You gonna get yourself a new whip? It don't make no sense to get a Maserati. It really don't. Or a Porsche. That, a lot of these cars, they are nice, but at the same time and token, they know that they have a specific target market to people who can definitely, it's a broad and a specific. They're not, dealing with other competitors. They're specifically like Jaguar. I've never seen anybody really Jaguar. Nobody's talking about, yeah, I got a new Jag. No rappers talking about, yeah, I'm being me in a new Jag. They're talking about Benz. They're talking about the Lambos. They're talking about the G-Wagon. But the G-Wagon is over, at least with taxes, that junk's like $200,000. And then you gotta think about the vehicle registration fee. A lot of people don't be thinking about stuff like that. These cars and stuff are a luxury. They are. But for what it's worth, at the same time, You think about the opportunity cost and stuff like that. $200,000. You know, somebody could live in an apartment, live good. You know, live in a $6,000 a month apartment, but you know that paying $6,000 for an apartment, what amenities you got? Everything's all nice and sweet and stuff like that until you know you dealing with people who accountant and then managers, music managers, stuff taking your money and stuff like that, or overbooking you or having scheduling conflicts. That right there is just stupid to me. Or you're going on a leg of a tour and it's not healthy. Some people got their North American leg and certain stuff like that to Europe. Europe you can kind of get through within a certain time frame. Like, you know, like someone has something in France or something like that, they can try to go to what you call it, like Spain, or do something, because France and Spain is right there, or then France and Portugal is right there too. France is pretty long though. It is pretty long.
You hate to see that kind of mistake.
Orlando making some changes. Wells, he's checked in for Mohamed Bamba. And it's Jonathan Isaac in for Aaron Gordon.
I tell you, he's making everything he looks at tonight. He should be their number one option on every possession.
Shot game clock separated by 5. For the 3, Chandler. It's hauled in by the Magic. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game. It's in Atlanta. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
After this, I might watch Sister Sister. That's exactly what I might do. Just watch Sister Sister and crash. Yeah. I know that this pandemic is over. Gee, I might, you know, graduate school and I'm about to just be chilling. You know, like somebody worrying about what I'm doing, like for school. I want like what my career option is. You know, I want a job that don't seem like a job. Not saying ain't no stress and stuff like that, but I want to have eustress, not distress. You know, you work a job that sucks. Your eating habits and stuff like that is trash. You trying to get something quick, fast, in a hurry, double back. Like someone said that Taco Bell is good. Taco Bell is comedic. That beefy bilayer burrito is a recipe for diarrhea. The food, nobody can tell me that anything from Taco Bell is relatively good. I haven't ate a Taco Bell for a while. I used to get this wrap. It was like a buffalo ranch or something like that. Was halfway decent. But yeah, that, bro, I'm not really a big fan of Taco Bell these days. I'm not a big fan of Taco Bell these days. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just my personal opinion. Nobody can tell me, like, if you think that Taco Bell, everybody's standards and stuff is not, like, it's different. Food is different and based on income, too. Yeah. Taco Bell's food, I tell people, like, a lot of stuff, food, it may taste good, but if it don't have no nutritional value and stuff like that, if a meal is 800 calories, like a Popeye's chicken sandwich is mainly bread. It's just, you know, it has that little sauce up there. I've had one here recently, but I didn't feel like I got anything out of that. To get some already greasy food, if you know Popeyes, you already know it's greasy, for one. You know, another place I'm not too fond of, I like, and I said it, I'll call it has reputation. People talking about the Five Guys be busting. Five Guys is not good. You know, the thing that they should add on to their menu is a deep fried bag. Because there's no way, there should be no reason why when you get the fries in your burger, the doggone, you should have grease stains on the thing, and then anytime you get that bag, you can put your thumb through the doggone bag. You can put your thumb through the doggone bag. They should add that on to me, deep fried bag. That's all you're gonna get with what you call it, with Five Guys.
You know, I would have loved to have the opportunity to finish
Deep fried bag. That's exactly. Everybody be loving deep fried bag.
Special time, unfortunately,
I don't like a greasy fry. Like
that's the one thing that
fries and stuff supposed to be greasy to a certain extent, but then again,
I can understand both of them.
yes.
Here's what Miami's running.
fries and stuff like that. Like I told, like I don't think McDonald's is real good.
Comes in for
Like if you're talking about a burger, no, McDonald's has the worst burger in my opinion.
On both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I loved is the energy
McDonald's has the worst burger.
ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Like, you know, I'm still thinking about my favorite place for a burger has to be Red Robin. Because Red Robin is not that expensive. Like $7.25 for a burger. And it's a chain from a restaurant. I'll pay $7.25 for a burger. I got no problem with $7.25.
again. It's Orlando with a three.
That price is actually suitable. Because a lot of burgers and stuff, like there's this place that, this little restaurant I go to, it's in downtown where I live at. It's only $5, but it's a special for Monday. I might get that one in this upcoming Monday. I'm gonna get that for lunch. It's $5. It's good.
IQ has been on display.
But at the same time, in token, and it come with fries, and the drink is probably like $2. So you know, it's pretty good. You have to pay for the cheese. That's how they get you. But the burger itself is pretty good. You know, some people like to get the egg on there, but then again, the egg, that ain't nothing but cholesterol. The deep fried egg, yeah, that's pretty bad. And you have your cholesterol is too high, that puts you at a high risk for stroke. And cholesterol is a steroid. A lot of people don't know that cholesterol is a steroid. It is.
It's the three-point bomb.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowed.
A heart disease.
Left to play in the third. Rockets.
Yo, your cholesterol is too high, you gotta get that in check.
Finally, with some offense.
But there's a lot of stuff too, that food and stuff, it tastes good, but it has a whole lot of salt in it. Like, if someone says KFC is good, KFC is not bad, but it's not good either. Like, if I go to KFC or something like that, the only thing I'm gonna get is strips. The strips is not that bad on calories. It's like 130 calories per strip. That's not that bad. That's not that bad, but the you know, I really don't like KFC in a sense like that. It's tolerable to a certain degree, but it's nothing, oh yeah, I'm gonna be breaking my neck for. I mean, it's okay. But yeah, there's some other stuff too. Like someone's talking about cookout. Cookout, I told somebody cookout is a late night club eat. I'm not, you know, I don't go to clubs, nightclubs and stuff like that. Cause I think a lot of stuff is ghetto. Like, you know, I'm not mixing and mingling with people. That's not antisocial behavior and stuff like that, in all honesty. Cause I feel like a lot of stuff is disingenuous. Like, for you to go out to some place or something like that.
Chandler outside.
In a way, I know people use certain stuff to be mixing and mingling with people. I'm not judging other people. But like I said, like in schools and universities and stuff like that, there are seriously problems with people or females and stuff getting sexually assaulted and stuff like that. That right there I got a problem with. And then the schools and stuff, they're trying to be hush-hush, and then, like, you know, definitely keep that stuff under wraps. And to a certain degree, they have to. If it's an ongoing case that comes to Title IX, that look bad for the school. So, yeah. But to me, it's just unacceptable.
Here's White. Hits it again. Wow. That gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
Don't go ahead and sit him out.
And so it's Orlando taking this one. Right up in Marcus. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy.
You know, I'm still thinking about when I was in my rep grind on like 2K18. I seriously took a whole nap. Like when I was in like 95, I go to the bars. I used to try to fill up half the bar or do a certain thing. The thing I realized about the bar and the stuff like that, especially when they had the overall thing, they would have percentages. It would go up or it would go down. You would get less than in an hour. I know that you a particular day. So the way you had to think in a way is you have to look at the bar. So let's say I'm in the 95 bar. The 95 bar was between 0.5 and 0.7. So an average gaming run would be, depending on how many games you play, like depending on how long you play it. Like let's say 8 games I play on 12-minute quarters. That maximized my rep in a sense because there's so many things I could do. But at the same time in Token, when I was playing the game, it would be late night too. But at the same time, it didn't make sense for me to do that. Now I'm wishing I didn't. But at the same time, I was trying to get 99 and I could have, but I quit midway through the thing to play Fortnite. I had fun with that. Had memories and stuff with my friends and stuff that were meaningful. That's the one thing I do not regret. But at the same time in Token, 2K is just like they're doing the bare minimum because they know people still gonna buy the game. But what I think about 2K is pretty, it's been the same. It's been the same for a while now. They're not going to do anything because they know people still going to buy it. Let me try to open up a pack market. I'm not spending no $20 on no pack. I'm sorry. That don't even make sense. Like the whole my team thing is just so fake. Like you cannot logically make sense of that. Like I spent 7,000 VC on a player, and it don't make any sense. Like you have to buy a bundle to get a better pack. I'll be back, y'all, in a second, or I might be out. Well, I think I'm gonna be out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Peace.